might be time to do some spring cleaning. Hey guys, it's me again, Douglas, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about making space for God. Yeah, making space for God in your heart and in your mind. Now, I don't know about your family, but every year in the springtime, my family does what my mom calls spring cleaning. And that's basically where every year in the spring, we will go and we'll find all the garbage that's in the little corners all around in our house, and we'll throw away all the garbage, and we'll find things that we haven't used in a long, long time. You know, stuff that isn't garbage, but we haven't used. And we'll give those things to other people who could use them. And it's really hard for me to even imagine what it would be like if we did not do spring cleaning. Because, man, we find so much stuff every single year. There's so much stuff, so much garbage in our lives, and stuff that we don't need that we just keep around. And I feel like if we didn't clean up every once in a while, it would just keep piling up until we had no room left to even, walk or sit down. We'd have no space in our house. That's the way it is with us and God, too. As Christians, we want to have more Jesus in our lives, right? I think most of us would say that that's a priority. We want more Jesus. The truth is, we got so much stuff in our hearts and in our minds, so much garbage, that there really isn't a whole lot of room for Jesus. And the stuff that piles up in my house is literal garbage, like paper and plastic and all this stuff that just kind of finds its ways into the corners of the house. But the garbage in our heart, the junk in our heart, well, there's lots of different kinds of that. Maybe it's greed, or maybe it's anger. Maybe you're holding a grudge. Maybe you're jealous of someone. Maybe you resent somebody. Maybe you're too proud of yourself. All these things and more can fill up our hearts so that there's really no room for the light of Jesus in our lives. And so we got to clear that stuff out so there's more room for Jesus in our lives. There are other religions where they teach people to, empty their hearts or empty their minds through meditation and stuff like that. But God doesn't want you to have an empty heart or an empty mind or an empty life. God wants you to have a life filled with Him. So yeah, you got to clear out that stuff from your heart, but that's just so you can fill it with the love of Jesus Christ. And we fill our minds with God by reading our Bibles and by praying and spending time with other believers and encouraging one another and doing the things that God wants us to do. When we do that, we can fill up our lives with Jesus. So my challenge to you guys today is that you would get rid of the junk, the garbage, the old stuff in your heart that's taking up space, so you can fill that space with the love of God. It's not about finding peace through emptiness. It's about finding peace through a life filled with Christ. Hey guys, I hope you liked this video. And hey, I really want you to think today, what is something in your life that might be taking up space in your heart? I mentioned a few things, like maybe it's greed or pride or holding a grudge. It's going to be different with everybody. The garbage that I've got in my house probably doesn't look like the garbage that you've got in your house. And it's the same with the junk in our hearts. It's different for everybody. So I really want you to sit down and think, what is in your life? What's in your heart? What's in your mind that's taking up space that should be filled with God? And once you figure out what that stuff is, it's time to do some spring cleaning and take out the garbage, so you can fill that empty space with the love of Jesus Christ.